Hello, business students. So we're romping through finance now. We are going to take a look in this video at what are the best sources of finance for a business. So we're just going to start with a quick reminder of what finance is, what their role is, and why sources of finance are a really important part of the decision making that the finance function will do. Okay, right. So reminder, what is the finance function? Finance function is the part of the business that deals with all the money. They answer questions like, are we making a profit? Can we afford to grow? What should we spend our money on? And really important for this video, where should we get our money? Our capital. Remember, capital comes at the start of a business or when you're growing a business. Where should we get our capital from and where should we spend our money for the best outcomes for the business? Okay, and we've already talked about that the purpose of the business, the finance in the business, is to provide really important key financial information for all parts of the business and stakeholders, managers and owners. It helps support planning for the future. Should we grow? What budgets should we set for each functional area? And helps make really important decisions about, should we put our prices up? Can we afford to employ new people? Should we invest in something new? Okay, right. What you really need to know, and this is what I want to focus on this section, is what are the sources of finance that a business could use if they wanted to set up a business or grow. For OCR students, you need to know which would be best for new businesses and which would be best for established businesses that have been running for some time and want to grow. Okay, so you need to know what each of these types of finance are and what's the advantages and disadvantages. I'm going to go through them very quickly. You might need to watch this video a couple of times. Excuse me. Okay, overdraft. An overdraft is when the bank lets you go over. It lets you take out more money than you have in the bank. It's good because it gets you through short-term finance cash flow issues. If you don't have enough money in the bank just at the moment, but you know you're going to have some money coming in, then the bank will let you take some more money out than you have. It's really good for short-term cash flow problems. However, charges a lot of interest. The interest rate is high and it's usually on a daily rate. You need to make sure that you're going to be able to pay it back and that you have got the money coming in the future. Okay, you could get a bank loan, which would be a more long-term solution. You can borrow a set of money to set up your business, or if you wanted to invest and grow your business, if you wanted to set up a new shop, a new service, online trading, so that was going to cost you some money, you could get a loan from the bank. The loans are usually paid quite quickly and can be arranged very quickly, and are with you possibly overnight, very quickly. However, you have to repay an amount each month with interest on top, which is obviously going to affect your profits because you have to pay back interest on the loan. You could get trade credit, which is where you pay your suppliers later. They deliver raw materials or services to you, and then you have an agreement where you've got longer to pay for them. You don't have to pay for them straight away. So maybe you are a business, maybe you're Nike and you're making these gorgeous trainers, and you want to you've got a supplier who delivers you the raw materials, the laces, the material, the colours that go on it, I was going to say the air for the for the Air Max joke. They deliver you all of the raw materials that go into making those trainers, and they delivered them the raw materials on the 1st of the month, and you've got possibly till the 30th of the month to pay your suppliers. The good thing about that is you can make the trainers, sell the trainers, get the money from your customers, and then pay your suppliers, which gives you time to make the sale and get the money in your bank before you have to pay them. Problem? You have to make sure you've got those sales that you're going to be able to pay your supplier back, because if you can't, you're going to get a really bad reputation and they're going to stop supplying you with raw materials. Okay, retained profit is profit has come from the business from previous years. The good thing about it is it's your money. You don't have to pay interest on it. You don't have to ask anybody if you can borrow it. There's no interest to pay on the repayments. However, if you're using retained profits, then you're not sharing those profits with your shareholders, and they might not be very happy about that. Sale of assets. If you are a business that has been running for some time and you've got some machinery, some old equipment, you've got maybe a premises or a garage or a bit of land, or maybe you've got a machine that you don't need anymore because you've changed the types of products that you sell, you could sell your assets and you could make some money that way. Problem, it's only good for established businesses that have old equipment to sell or fixed assets to sell. And if you change your mind and you decide you're going to need that equipment again in the future, well, that's tough. You've sold it now. Owner's own capital. So the business, the owner might put in some more of their own money. Maybe they've got some savings and maybe they're a sole trader, maybe they're partnership, and the owners decide that they would like to grow their business by putting some more of their own savings into the business. Advantage, the money's there quickly and it's your decision if you'd like to do that. Disadvantage, that it's a bit of a risk. The owner is putting some more of their own money into the business. You could new partner into the business. This is good, a very long-term solution. You're going to have another owner in the business. They will bring new money and new ideas into the business, fresh ideas, new ways of thinking. Disadvantage, you've got to share your profits with them. If they're bringing half the money, they're bringing part of the money, they're bringing their work, their ideas, you have to share the profits with them. You might not want to share your business with somebody else if you're a sole trader because you like having full control. Maybe if you are a private limited company or a public limited company, you could sell more shares in your business. If you're a private limited company, you're going to be asking friends, family, or known investors to buy shares in your business, and that's going to help you raise more finance. Or if you're a public limited company, you can just do a share issue and any member of the public could buy some more shares. Advantages, it's a quick way of raising money. You don't have to pay interest. It's not a loan. Disadvantage, you've got more shareholders. You've got more people to share. You've got more owners. A shareholder is an owner. You've got more people that you have to share the profits with. Crowdfunding, this is a longer term solution, and it's where you advertise a particular project or proposal or something that you'd like to do in the business. And you can raise money from lots of online investors, from people who would like to see your business succeed or would like a particular social enterprise to happen. And you can go out and ask everybody to chip in. Different crowdfunding projects have different ways of working. Some will pay back a share of the profits. Some will give anybody who has contributed to the crowdfunding some discounts or special rates or access to their products and services or facilities, and some don't want anything at all in return. They just put the money in because it's something really good that they want to happen. Okay, for each of those you need to know when it would be used, what's the definition, and the advantages and disadvantages of using those sources of finance. There's usually a sources of finance question on paper 2, and very often it is comparing two different sorts of source of finance. For this business, do you recommend that they have a bank loan or sell more shares? So you need to know what the benefits and drawbacks of each source of finance are compared to other sources of finance. Okay. You also need to know if the source of finance is better for a new or an established business. So I'm just looking where I can move me out of the way. So owner's capital is good for new businesses. A new owner of a new business which is setting up, they're going to put their own money in. An overdraft could be new, could be established businesses. A new or small business would hopefully get an overdraft from the bank if they can show that they have really planned their business well and that they know where this money is going to be coming from in the future. However, an established business will also use an overdraft at times of cash flow problems because they know that the money is going to be coming in the future. A bank loan could be new and established businesses. That could apply equally to both. Retained profit is only going to be applicable to established businesses. Obviously, a new business doesn't have any retained profit to use, so retained profit is only suitable for an established business. Crowdfunding could be for a new business that wants to set up, especially if they want to set up a social enterprise or a facility in the area. And it could also be for a growing business that wants to venture into something new and they've used their existing customers or service users in order to get some crowdfunding money together to grow their business. A share issue is appropriate for established businesses that have already been running and they offer more shares. And this will be the bigger private limited companies and public limited companies. And trade credit. Any business can get trade credit, established or new businesses. Possibly your suppliers might ask you to have a couple of months trading before they will give you goods on credit so that you've shown that you've got a reputation that you're going to be able to pay them, because they probably don't want to take the risk that you won't be able to pay for the raw materials that they have delivered to you if they give you too long to pay for them. Okay, right, business students, you need to make sure you know what is finance used for, setting up and growing a business, paying staff, paying for raw materials, and you need to know what are the best sources of finance for any business in each of their own situations. There will be loads of clues in your case study about the situation this business is in. Remember, if you're being asked to recommend a source of finance or why one source of finance is better than another one for a particular business, there will be a lot of clues in the case study to tell you. And you need to include those facts, figures, and information in your answer to get all of those context marks. Sources of finance. Dead easy. We can do this. You can do it better than I can get off this video.